Hare Krishna, good morning, my dear Prabhus, dear Matajis. Thank you for joining our morning japa session. Again, that is 5:30 to 7 o'clock. If you wish to chant with us for the whole session, please do so. Or you could also log in and log out anytime to finish our rounds with us. So iba yung nabibigay na benefit with the chanting kasama yung association ng devotees. Hello muna, Hare Krishna, Levi, Prabhu, Ivy, Hare Krishna, Ivy. Good morning. Carla, Moksha Lakshmi Mataji, Hare Krishna Kanai, Krishna Prabhu, Riza, Shay, Rolly, McCoy, Paulo, JP, Hare Krishna JP, Gail, and Jonah. So good morning. You know the drill. We should be in the right mood, the mood of request and humility. So join me as we recite the invocation mantras. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashta Prayashu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Utamas Loke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. I offer my obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudev. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the Personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supremest human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Hare Krishna, welcome to our Srimad Bhagavatam study, the Monk in the Middle podcast. We are studying the cream of the Vedas, Srimad Bhagavatam. And ang nakaraan, we discussed yesterday different points because Arjuna, already knew that Krishna already went back home sa kanyang abode, and he left us here in the material world. So he is reminiscing, relishing as well yung mga pastimes where Krishna showered his mercy and blessings kay Arjuna by different pastimes. We discussed kung paano niya pinotektahan si Draupadi during the gambling where Dushashan and other demoniac kings wanted to abuse her, wanted her to be naked, disrobe her. Tapos nalusan yung hair. That is very sacred. One should not really touch someone's the hair ng mga wives ng ibang tao. And what more pa, sinabunutan pa si Draupadi, trying pa siya i-disrobe and all. And what Krishna did, after the war, lahat ng asawa ng mga demoniac na mga leaders, kings, and soldiers there, lahat sila naglusan ng hair. That is a symbol for them, by natalo sila sa war. I mean, their husbands died in the war. So they are already widowed. At the same time, we talk about yung wedding ceremony ni Draupadi. Also, tonight, i-discuss din natin yan. How also, they were saved by the rat. Merong isang Muni, si Durvasa Muni. Easily pleased siya, at the same time, easily annoyed. Pero they were saved by Krishna because when Krishna was satisfied by small grains or small vegetables lang na binigay sa kanya, all these 10,000 disciples ni Durvasa Muni was already satisfied. Another is yung fight between Arjuna and Shiva. Even Arjuna got a lot of weapons and skills in the art of war. He is still um, giving all the credits to Krishna, all that powers na meron siya. Because of course, all the prowess ng mga powerful is coming from Krishna according to him. He mentioned that in the Bhagavad Gita. Even the, how to call this, yung kakaibang pastime where kailangan magtago nila Arjuna, mag-disguise sila. And actually si Arjuna, during that exile, sa 13th year no exile nila, si Branella, that is Arjuna pretending to be, no, he was cursed and he is actually a eunuch or a trance during that time. Actually, yung trabaho ni Arjuna noon, kasi natuto siya ng dance and singing sa heavenly planets. So, yung ginagawa niya doon sa kingdom ni King Virata, he was teaching the princess, ng mga royal ladies doon, ng mga how to perform yung mga dances sa mga singing that are actually he learned from the heavenly planets. So kakaiba yung mga nangyayari. And he is actually reminiscing, and all of these adventures and experience, he was always protected by Krishna. So, continue natin yung pastime na alala ni Arjuna and how he felt that Krishna is always with him. Physically, figuratively, or maybe from his heart, the Paramatma. Continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Creation. That's the first canto. We are at the part 3 of this version of the book. We are at chapter 15, entitled The Pandavas Retire Timely. Text number... Oh yeah, we are... Yeah, text number 15 as well. 1:15:15. Translation. It was he only who withdrew the duration of life from everyone and who, in the battlefield, withdrew the speculative power and strength of enthusiasm from the great military phalanx made by the Kauravas, headed by Bhishma, Karna, Drona, Salya, etc. Their arrangement was expert and more than adequate. But he, Lord Krishna, while going forward, did all this. So we know that si Krishna, in the battlefield for Kurukshetra, he was the chariot driver ni Arjuna. And may usapan sila actually, may vow si Krishna na mag-join siya sa war, pero he will not pick up a weapon, he will not fight, but he could be the chariot driver. But of course, those devotees of Krishna knew how Krishna arranged all of this. How Krishna made a lot of tricks para i-save yung mga devotees niya. And made a lot of tricks para mamatay din yung mga kalaban. And yeah, there was mga headed, mga, how do you call this? Mga great personality who are heading this Kauravas army. Kasama sila Bhishma, si Karna, Drona, Salya, and others. And matututunan pa natin and makikilala pa natin sila. And this is actually not just ordinary war, ordinary military war, just by using weapons. No, these are great personalities. These are great marshals. So let's know all of them. Basahin natin yung sa text number 16 for us to know different personalities. Great generals like Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Bhurishrava, Susarma, Salya, Jayadrat, and Balika all directed their invincible weapons against me. But by his, Lord Krishna's grace, they could not even touch my hair on my head. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj, the supreme devotee of Lord Nrsimhadev, was unaffected by the weapons the demons used against him. So Arjuna was comparing, giving the example of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, you could read his pastime in the 7th canto ng Srimad Bhagavatam. Those who are sometimes bewildered by the image of Nrsimhadev killing Hiranyakashipu, this is Krishna's incarnation na half lion siya. The upper part you can see the lion head, but of course bedecked with jewels, with crowns, and all the garlands. And meron siyang 4 arms, many arms actually, with claws, sharp claws. And sobrang galit, very fierce. He is in the line, he is the incarnation of Krishna, and si Prahlad Maharaj is in the line of the demons. So yung tatay niya, si Hiranyakashipu, is really a demoniac personality. This Hiranyakashipu wanted to be immortal. So what he did, he performed yoga asanas, austerities. So nag-perform siya ng yogic postures, not for days, not for weeks, not for months, not for a year, no, for thousands of years. Sobrang grabe yung performance niya ng asceticism. Parang butot balat na lang daw siya. Tapos sinubuan na siya ng mga anthill, tapos natabunan na siya ng tropical na mga naging jungle na, hindi na siya makita. Pero tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung austerity na ginagawa niya without even moving. Habang nangyayari yon, di ba pag nag-balance tayo in doing yoga or some postures, we do sway a little bit to find the sweet spot, yung balance. This activity, si Hiranyakashipu, hindi siya yung gumagalaw, pero yung buong material world yung nanginginig. Nagkakaroon ng tremors. And all the living entities, including the demigods, was very disturbed by this. They have to approach Lord Brahma. Si Lord Brahma, siya yung father of the living entities. Kasi siya yung first created being. Tapos from him, siya yung nag-progenate. He is the secondary creator. Krishna is the supreme creator, the cause of all causes. But in the material world, si Lord Brahma is secondary creator. So what happened was, he went there, look for Hiranyakashipu. And then when they found him, kasama yung ibang mga demigods and yung mga assistant niya, they asked and told Hiranyakashipu, "My dear Hiranyakashipu, I know you're doing this penance and austerities. Please, you can stop this already. And what kind of boon do you desire?" Hiranyakashipu mentioned that he wanted to be immortal. Sabi ni Lord Brahma, "I myself is not an immortal being. I will die in the future for sure. So I cannot give that to you." Tapos nag-create sila ng mga trick, si Hiranyakashipu. Okay, if di mangyayari yun, now give me a boon that I will not be killed by any weapons. I will not be killed in the air or in the land. I will not be killed inside or outside. I will not be killed during the morning or during the night. And so on. Nagagawa siya ng way para magkaroon siya ng so-called immortality. So binigyan ni Lord Brahma ng boon yun. So this is the disadvantage of demigod worshipping. The demigods could give you the material benefit. Yes, you could have them. You could be rich. You could be opulent. The problem is, hindi mo alam kung saan papunta yung hinihiling mo, ano yung binibigay ng demigods, because they are pleased. Okay, si Hiranyakashipu was given this boon, and he continued to be a demon. So, hindi lang siya birong demon, ah. He conquered a lot of planetary systems. And a lot of demigods were already nanginginig sila sa takot. So, this Hiranyakashipu, habang ginawa niya yung penances na yon, yung asawa niya is pregnant. And that boy na sa tiyan ng asawa ni Hiranyakashipu is Prahlad Maharaj. Only thing is, si Prahlad Maharaj, habang pinagbubuntis siya ng nanay niya, the demigods tried to arrest all of the demons, demoniac subordinate ni Hiranyakashipu. Kasi nagagawa pa siya ng penance, kulinan natin sila lahat. Patayin na natin lahat ng demon para pagtapos ng austerity niya, wala na siyang alagad. So what happened was, they're arresting these soldiers, yung mga demons and all. Pero, yung kukulin ng mga demigods, yung asawa ni Hiranyakashipu, lumabas uli si Narada Muni. Our transcendental spaceman. Pagpunta niya dun sa area na yon, pinigilan niya yung mga demigods. Sabi niya, don't arrest this Mataji who is pregnant. There is actually, tapos sabi ng mga demigods, no, he's the wife of the demon. We must arrest him. And we don't want another demon na nasa womb ng asawa niya. Tapos tinuloy ni Narada Muni yung sinasabi niya. There's actually a pure devotee inside that womb. And yes, Narada Muni preached and narinig ni Prahlad Maharaj from the womb then. Yung dinidiscuss ni Narada Muni. So, in actuality, the spiritual master of Prahlad Maharaj is Narada Muni. Then, true enough, when Prahlad Maharaj was born, tapos nakatapos na yung penances ni Hiranyakashipu, ang plano ni Hiranyakashipu maging next descendant na demon si Prahlad Maharaj, not just an ordinary demon, like a really powerful leader ng mga demons that could conquer the three worlds, the lower planetary system, the heavenly planetary system, this middle planetary system, which ayun yung part ng Earth. The problem was, devotee nga si Prahlad Maharaj. So, trinay ng maraming beses ni Hiranyakashipu para i-train si Prahlad Maharaj maging demon. Ang problema, si Prahlad Maharaj is not being a demon, not cultivating that personality and characteristic ng isang demon. He was even enrolled in a school kung paano maging demon. So may mga kaklase si Prahlad Maharaj sa mga demon, may mga teachers sila ng demon. Pero this Prahlad Maharaj was so saintly, a pure devotee. Ang ginagawa niya, pumapasok lang siya dun sa school, nakikisalamuha lang siya dun sa mga klase niya. Pero he was preaching. He was telling that this Krishna consciousness should be taken by everyone. Sinasabi ng mga kalaro ni Prahlad Maharaj, masyado ka naman seryoso, Prahlad. Mga bata pa tayo, maglaro muna tayo. Saka na natin intindihan yung mga seriousness na yan, yung mga spirituality na yan. We must enjoy, we must play sports. And sabi rin ni Prahlad Maharaj, no, don't rush the future. No one is safe na magkakaroon siya ng future. Tatanda sila. And this Krishna consciousness is the most urgent na kailangan natin i-practice. It doesn't have any factors and any conditioning para i-practice siya as much as yung urgency niya, hindi nakarelay dun yung age, yung position, and all the factors. Kailangan siya i-practice. The most important thing is to practice it now. Sinasabi ni Prahlad Maharaj sa mga klase niya. Imagine, ilang taon pa lang siya dito. 5 years old, 6 years old. So, nagugulat yung mga demon na kaklase niya. Nagugulat din yung mga demons na teacher. Ngayon, nung nire-report na ng mga teacher kay Hiranyakashipu yun, kung ano yung ginagawa ng mga anak niya, kung paano naapektuhan din yung mga kaklase, Hiranyakashipu was bewildered. Teka lang, saan nagagaling yung pagiging saintly neto, bakit siya devotee ni Vishnu? Ba't devotee siya ni Krishna? Hindi ba niya alam kaaway ko yon? What Hiranyakashipu did, nilagay niya si Prad Maharaj dun sa lap niya, tapos kinausap niya. My dear Prad Maharaj, ano yung natutunan mo sa school? Di ba gano'n naman palagi yung mga um, yung mga tatay or nanay kapag nauwi yung mga anak nila galing school. My dear son, kamusta school mo? What did you learn from their school? So, si Prad Maharaj was teaching, trying to preach to his father, the demon father Hiranyakashipu. And by this, na-irritate si Hiranyakashipu because this Prahlad Maharaj is like naturally devotee ni Krishna, ni Lord Vishnu. And he threw this Prahlad Maharaj away. Sabi niya dun sa mga alagad niya, torture this kid. He is a devotee of Vishnu. If you could kill him, kill him. So ang ginawa ng mga alagad ni Hiranyakashipu, even anak niya yun, anak ni Hiranyakashipu yung si Prahlad Maharaj, he was tortured. He was trampled by elephants, big elephants. Dinadaganan siya. Then nagugulat na lang yung mga demons kasi walang nangyayari kay Prahlad Maharaj, nagka-chant lang siya doon. Hindi siya nasasaktan. He was put into a pit of snake. Yung mga snake doon, pero hindi siya kinaagat. There wasn't even a danger for this kid. Trinay na siya sunugin, trinay siya i-poison by weapons. Pero this Prahlad Maharaj was untouchable. He was protected. Then what happened was, kinonfront na siya ni Hiranyakashipu. He thought that he was powerful, and he was talking to this little boy, his son, Prahlad Maharaj. Where are you getting these powers of yours? And surprisingly, ang sagot sa kanya ni Prahlad Maharaj, from the same source, kung saan mo nakukuha yung powers mo. Sino ba yung sinasabi mo? Sabi niya Hiranyakashipu. Is that the Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna you're saying, you're chanting? Yes. Actually, He is everywhere. Anong everywhere? What do you mean everywhere? Is He here in this furniture? Tas binasag ni Hiranyakashipu. Is He here in the pillar? Tas there's a big pillar in that palace. Sabi ni Prahlad Maharaj, yes. Ginawa ni Hiranyakashipu, binasag niya yung pillar na yun. Tas tumultuous sound. Yung sound na pag-break ng pillar na yon, narinig in the three worlds. Yung mga demigods narinig and all. And pagbukas ng pillar na nabasag, lumabas si Lord Nrsingadev. Very fierce, very mad, angry, and growling. Tapos nagulat lahat sila. Si Prahlad Maharaj nag-bow down kaagad. Nagpayo ng obeisances. Of course, si Hiranyakashipu, hindi, demoniac siya. He drew his sword and he tried to fight and tried to kill si Hiranyakashipu, si Lord Nrsingadev. But of course, Lord Nrsingadev is very mad and angry. And even si Hiranyakashipu could not touch his hair. He's trying to fight, but no. Easily, si Hiranyakashipu was grabbed by Lord Nrsingadev. Binuhat siya, tapos nilagay sa lap ni Lord Nrsingadev. In between nung passage nung palace and outside, in that hallway, dun pumasok si Lord Nrsingadev. Tapos, from his lap, binuksan ni Lord Nrsingadev yung tiyan ni Hiranyakashipu using the sharp claws. Then, Hiranyakashipu died in the lap of Lord Nrsingadev. And even the intestines of Hiranyakashipu, ginawa niyang garland. He did not die inside or outside the palace. He did not die in the morning and or in the evening. Kasi nang pinatay siya dun sa hallway, in between outside and inside ng palace. Hindi siya namatay morning and evening, namatay siya ng dusk. Hindi siya namatay in the air, saka sa land, namatay siya sa lap. Hindi siya pinatay ng weapons. Pinatay siya ng claws ni Lord Nishingadev. And so on. So yung lahat ng conditioning was arranged. So yes, it will be Lord Nishingadev Chaturdasi will be his appearance this 25th of April. There will be a festival, of course. Due to the pandemic, we will have it online. And more um, pastimes will be told by our dear senior devotees. It is just shown that even si Prahlad Maharaj was, but Prahlad Maharaj pala, actually siya yung naging next na king. But this boy Prahlad was tortured. Even hindi niya tinatawag si Krishna, hindi niya nire-request yung protection. He was being protected. Nagka-chant lang siya. Pero nung tinawag na niya si Krishna na, yes, andyan siya sa pillar, lumabas si Krishna. He is bound by the love of Prahlad Maharaj. Kailangan to pa rin ni Lord Krishna yung words ni Prahlad Maharaj and lumabas siya dun sa pillar right away as Lord Nishingadev. But he's always protected. If Krishna wants to protect you, no one could kill you, just like Prahlad Maharaj. But if Krishna wants to kill you, no one could protect you. Even all this boon. This demon, Hiranyakashipu, died from the claws of Lord Nishingadev. So this pastime was being compared by, what do you call this? Compared by Arjuna. Kasi nangyari sa kanya yon. He was protected by Krishna a lot of times. Number one dito na binanggit is si Karna. So going back dun sa Mahabharat, give me a second ha. Hare Krishna, sorry for that. Yeah, no, wala na yung maingay. That was may nagka-grass cut kasi. So yes, si Karna fought Arjuna in different battlefields sa different competition. One pastime dito is if you could remember, diniscuss natin, si Draupadi, there is a wedding ceremony. That wedding ceremony, kung sino yung mananalo dun sa mga competition, siya yung magiging asawa ni Draupadi. Of course, it was pre-arranged. Ang gusto ni Draupadi na maging asawa niya is si Arjuna. Pero if you could remember, si Arjuna saka yung Pandavas was exiled for 13 years. That 13th year is yung kailangan nila mag-disguise. So habang naka-exile sila, doon nangyari yung wedding ceremony ni ni Draupadi. So anong nangyari? Lahat ng kings was invited na mga interested of course kay Draupadi, pero halos lahat, mga prince, mga great warriors pumunta doon. And they competed. There's this competition na may fish that was attached into a pole. Not a real fish, but a target. Tapos umiikot yon. And there's this reflection of water sa baba. Then how to shoot that fish? You have to look at the reflection, tapos shooting upwards. And ang dami nag-try. Yung iba nag-miss, yung iba tinatamaan nila yung fish, pero pumupunta lang doon sa body ng fish. And there's this Duryodhan. yung panganay ng mga Kauravas. So, nung tinamaan nila ni Duryodhan yung fish, tinamaan niya doon sa target mismo. Pero hindi sa gitna. Tinamaan sa mata, tapos hairline na lang. Sakto doon sa mata ng fish. So siya yung closest. Then wala nang iba naka-target na yun. Nakatama doon. And this father ni Draupadi, ang pangalan si King Draupada, was looking doon sa mga mga lumaban sa competition. Pero ayaw niya kay Duryodhan. So he was waiting. Sana nandito pa sila Arjuna. They know na naka-excel sila Arjuna. And sana nandito sila. So this exile is not to make it clear, this exile is, how do you call this? They are prior to that gambling match. This exile is after the House of Luck. Nung binurn yung House of Luck na habang nandun yung Pandavas, kailangan magtago ng Pandavas para kunyari na patay na sila. So hindi sila kailangan magpakita ng mga soldiers sila, ganon. So I'm not quite sure kung saan exile yon. Pero this time, sila Arjuna hindi nakabihis na pang soldiers, mga Kshatriyas. Nakabihis sila pang Brahmanas. So naka-shawl lang sila. So kita yung mga shoulders nila. Pero kung makikita mo yung katawan nila, they're built like a Kshatriya. Sabi nga yung trunk yung mga arms nila are just like trunks ng trees. Gano'n kalalaki. So si Arjuna went down. May kasama siyang rishi, si Domya Rishi. Nagpaalam siya. Pwede ba akong sumali doon? At pinayagan siya, pati ng mga Brahmanas. So they are in disguise as a Brahmana. They went down. Tapos si Krishna saka si Balaram was in that ceremony. Sabi ni Krishna sa kanya, look at this Balaram. Mukhang familiar ba sila sa inyo? Yes, we are at the text number 16, text number 16. We're talking about personality. Tapos, sabi ni Balaram, I think so, mukhang familiar sila. Pero si Krishna, he's the all-knowing. So, kilala nila na sila yung Pandavas. And this Arjuna is just in disguise as Brahmana. Of course, naging usap-usapan yung, teka lang, yung prince ikakasal sa Brahmana. And, ang nangyari is, sabi nung mga wise men, yes, pwedeng yung lalaki na Brahmana could be married to a princess. Not other way around. Hindi pa baliktad. Hindi yung prince ikakasal sa in the family ng Brahmana na babae. So, there is an order in that. So, inallow nila. So, this Arjuna grabbed his bow and arrow, look at the reflection, and he drew his arrow. Pag-release niya, tinamaan yung fish. Tinamaan dun sa target, and tinamaan dun sa gitna ng target, dun sa eye. And actually, lumipad nga yung fish na yon. And nakita ng lahat, pag land sa lupa, yung target niya, yung arrow, is sobrang gitna. And alam ng mga tao na isa lang yung kayang gumawa na ito. But of course, he's in disguise. And ang nangyari is, siya yung nanalo. But before that, bago mangyari yung bumaba si Arjuna, may isang personality. Ang pangalan niya si Krsna. This Krsna is also the son of Kunti. Before si Kunti ipakasal kay Pandu. Officially, he is also a Pandava. But of course, later na siya na-discover na siya yung Pandava. Isa siya yung eldest Pandava. So, nangyari, he wanted to join this ceremony as well. Pero hindi siya pinayagan. Kasi during that time, hindi niya alam na anak siya ni Kunti. So, doon siya sa foster parents niya. But his foster parents, yung dad niya is a carpenter, chariot driver, tapos servant yung nanay niya. So is considered as laborer class or Sudra. This, hindi pinayagan ng mga wise man. Kasi yung babae is in the family of Kshatriyas and royalties, tapos yung lalaki is dun sa mga laborers. Hindi siya in accordance sa order ng our etiquette. So nagtampo si Krsna dito. Tapos nakita niya, teka lang, nung ako hindi pinayagan, tapos itong Brahmana pinayagan. Tapos si Duryodhan, andun din, di ba muntikan na siya manalo. Teka lang, muntikan na ako manalo, I'm supposedly in that royalty, royal order. Ako yung feeling ko magiging next na emperor. Tapos this Brahmana, siya yung nanalo, ay ninayaan ni King Drupada, yung tatay ni Draupadi. This is, sabi niya, madness. Tapos kinonsyaba niya lahat ng king. Hindi niyo ba alam, sinetap lang tayo ng king na to, ni King Drupada. Pinapaya lang niya tayo. Now, ibibigay niyo yung anak niya doon sa Brahmana. Tapos tayo, nagpakahirap tayo, we are in this royal position. Tapos nagkakaroon ng commotion in that ceremony. Tapos lahat ng mga kings sa mga prince, nag-draw na sila ng sword nila, ng mga weapon. They want to attack Drupada. But Yudhishthira was there also, the whole Pandavas. Sinanyasan niya si Arjuna. Protect your father-in-law. So officially, kasal na sila doon. Si Drupada. So ang father-in-law ni Arjuna, si Draupadi, yung asawa ni Arjuna na. And sabi ni Drupada, protect your father-in-law. That is Drupada, yung king. And siya yung gusto siguro ng mga other king headed by Duryodhan. So what Arjuna did, he drew his sword. Tapos walang makacheck sa kanya. Walang makalapit. And si Krsna tried also. And from that on, doon na nagsimula yung rivalry ni Krsna sa ni Arjuna. Sobrang lakas ni Arjuna. Although hindi siya makapenetrate sobrang lakas ni Krsna pero hindi siya makapenetrate kay Arjuna. So nakita ni Duryodhan, well, this Krsna is so strong. Although he is born as a Sudra, he could be one of my asset against this Arjuna. So alam mo yung magkakaaway pag galit sila sa isang tao. Yung ibang galit sa ibang tao, totropahin niya, kampay niya. Ay, alam mo ba, galit din ako dyan eh. Kaaway ko rin yan eh. Laging ganon, di ba? So ganun yung ginawa ni Duryodhan kay Krsna. So doon nagsimula na yung gulo, doon nagsimula yung away. Then of course, naging asawa na ng Pandava si Draupadi. Then si Krsna, this personality na nabanggit ni Arjuna, started to be the mortal enemy ni Arjuna. This Duryodhan empowered him. Binigyan siya ng kingdom, binigyan siya ng power, binigyan siya ng position. For what? For him to be on their side against the Pandavas, specifically kay Arjuna, kay sobrang lakas ni Arjuna. So hindi lang nagtapos dito yung away ni Krsna and ni Arjuna. If you could remember, si Arjuna, siya yung naging Branella nung nasa exile sila. 13th year, siya yung nagpanggap na trans because of a curse. This time, gusto nakawin ng Kauravas yung cows kung nasaan kingdom sila Pandavas. Hindi nila alam na nandun yung Pandavas. Kumbaga, hindi nila mahanap yung Pandavas. So, ang ginagawa nila, sumasakap lang sila ng mga iba't ibang kingdom. And one way to announce na we are inviting you for a war is na nakawan namin kayo. And the most valuable wealth ng isang kingdom is yung mga cows. Thousands of cows. So, ang ginawa ng mga Kauravas, ninakaw nila yung cows sa kingdom ni Virata. Nagkataon, doon nag-hide sila Pandavas. So, ang ginawa ni Branella, he wanted to help them. Pero, paano mangyayari yun? Is a trans or a eunuch. So, sabi niya, sige ako magka-chariot driver sa isang prince. So, they went there. And pagdating nila doon, duwag pala tong prince na to. Coward pala siya. So nagpalit sila ng position. Ginawa niyang chariot driver, yung prince, siya yung lalaban sa war. Siya lang mag-isa. And he defeated all these Kauravas. Nagtakbuhan nga raw yung mga Kauravas na yun eh. Tapos nagkataka sila, sino tong trans na to? Nagpapanggap na soldier. Pero yung twang nung bow and arrow ni Arjuna, bang! Familiar sila doon. Alam nila si Arjuna lang yung may kayang gumawa nun. So lahat sila nagtulong-tulong pero hindi nila ma-defeat si Arjuna even on that position as a trans. And from that war, natalo kagad si Karna. And so on. Ang dami nangyayari tuwing nagharap si Karna sa si Arjuna, palaging talo si Karna. There's this one time where in the Battle of Kurukshetra, si Karna was killing soldiers by 1,000. Sobrang grabe, pero sobrang proud siya. Sabi niya, 5 days lang kaya ko tapusin itong war na to. He is also a great personality. But of course, kaaway sila nila Krishna sa kanya Arjuna. He pleased Indra. Kasi yung mga nag-beg sa kanya ng mga beggars, lagi siya nagbibigay. He never failed to give alms and dakshin or charity. Si Indra, yung tatay ni Arjuna, of course, alam niya na anak niya si Arjuna, mortal enemy si Karna, pero this Karna is getting stronger and stronger. And may boon siya. Ang tatay ni Karna is si sun god, si Surya. So, pinanganak si Karna with armors. Imagine. So, he's always protected. So, this Indra, si Lord Indra, para kampihan and maging favorable and partial kala Arjuna, nagpanggap siya na beggar. And alam niya si Karna hindi tumatanggi sa mga beggar. So, nagpanggap siya and he paid obeisances kay Indra, si Karna. And he asked, how could I serve you? Sabi ni Indra as a beggar, pwede ba akong humingi sa'yo ng charity? Of course. How could I be of service? Sabi ni Indra, could you give me your armor? The armor that you were born with. So without blinking an eye, si Karna, kinuha yung sword niya. Tapos, dinisassemble niya dun sa body niya yung armor na yun. Disassemble means kailangan niyang hiwain yung balat niya para matanggal yung armor. So, nagawa ni Karna yon with blood around his body. Binigay niya yung armor sa beggar na yon. Although, alam niya na demigod yun na nagkapanggap lang. Pero, even that demigod is in disguise of a Brahmana. He's giving yung charity with all his heart. So, na-please actually si Indra dito. Tapos binigyan niya ng weapon, special weapon si Karna. So si Karna, he's not protected already by that armor, pero may bago siyang weapon. So lumalakas din siya lumalakas. So in the war, ang daming baon ni Karna. Si Arjuna, madaming baon. Kung natandaan nyo yesterday, ang daming nagbigay sa kanya ng weapon galing sa mga demigods. In the battlefield of Kurukshetra, kung saan yung saan nanggaling yung Bhagavad Gita, nagkaharap si Karna saka isang Rakshasa. Isang Rakshasa is on the side ng mga lower beings, pero powerful sila. Hindi ibig sabihin lower beings sila or mga demons yung iba, nasa Kauravas na rin. Yung iba, pious. Yung iba, kumakampi kala Krishna. So si Bhima, yung kapatid nila, nagkaroon ng anak sa isang Rakshasa na demon, si Dimbi. Tapos nagkaanak sila, ang pangalan Gatotkacha. So yung iba dito alam si Gatotkacha. This Gatotkacha is Rakshasa, pero mabait siya. And siya yung nag-protect sa mga Pandavas habang nasa exile. Siya yung sinasakyan sa likod, tapos lumilipad tong Gatotkacha na to. Lumilipad sa ibang island. Siya yung sasakyan nila. So during the war, si Gatotkacha, of course, kakampi niya yung tatay niya, si Bhima. He's killing also by thousands. And in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and yung mga sacred war, meron silang codes of war. may mga etiquette sila. You cannot kill a person without a weapon, nakatalikod. Bawal mong, pag nag-start yung war, mag-start yung war, bawal mong patayin yung mga nag-play ng mga drums, bawal mong patayin yung mga medic, gano'n. Pero pag nag-consul na uli, tapos na yung war, tapos na yung paglalaban, pwede kayong, alam mo yun, pwede kayong magtulungan, pwede kayong mag-usap-usap. Usually, binoblow yung consul pag sunset na. Pero there's this 2 nights, I think, 2 nights yon dun sa war, sa battlefield of Kurukshetra, 18 days yon in total. May 2 nights doon na hindi nila pinatulog yung consul. So habang gabi, nag-battle pa rin sila. And those who are lower beings, yung mga demoniacs, yung mga rakshasa, kapag gumagabi, mas lumalakas sila. So si Gatotkacha, sobrang lakas niya, sobrang dami niya pinapatay, saka lumalakas siya ng todo-todo. The only thing is, si Karna, nag-worry siya, pero meron siya mga grabing baon na weapon. May mga mantras siya. This weapon na sinasabi ko is mantras na kailangan nilang i-whisper dun sa arrow. Pero pag nirelease nila, magiging iba yon. Either magiging spearhead, magiging crescent moon-like, or magiging snake, magiging ulan, magiging kidlat, or mag-multiply by 1,000. So, ganon. So, this Gatotkacha grew so big. Tapos, ang dami niya pinapatay. Tapos, si Karna, kasabi niya, kailangan ko na i-end to. Pero yung weapon niya na sobrang lakas, isang beses lang niya pwede gamitin. Sinasave niya yun para kay Arjuna. The only thing is, he's in that position na kailangan niya gamitin kay Gatotkacha. So, yung whisper na niya yung mantra dun sa arrow, nirelease niya, tinamaan si Gatotkacha. And from that big Gatotkacha na nag-expand, namatay siya bigla. Pero, nung namatay na si Gatotkacha, nalaglag na siya sa battlefield, tens and thousands, I think hundreds of thousands yung namatay dahil nadaganan ni Gatotkacha. And the Pandavas was so sad because namatay yung anak ni Bhima. Tituring nila yung anak din yon. Pero si Krishna was so happy. He's even laughing. So nagkataka sila, bakit masaya si Krishna namatay yung kakampi natin? Anak nga ni Bhima yun. And he explained. One is, ang dami namatay doon sa kalaban nila na Kauravas. Second is, si Karna ginamit niya yung pambato niya ng weapon, which is dapat na magiging panlaban niya kay Arjuna. So he arranged na ma-release na ni Karna yon. Tapos hindi na magamit kay Krishna, kay Arjuna. Again, he made arrangement to protect his devotees. So that time, si Karna saka si Arjuna na naglaban sa war. Mahina na ng ibang arsenal si Karna. But still, pinahirapan niya si Arjuna. Sobrang nahirapan siya. And there's this one time, kailangan how do you call this? Interfere again ni Krishna. Di ba ang promise niya, hindi siya sasali sa war, mag-interfere or gagamit ng weapon, mag-drive na siya ng chariot. So may ginawa si Krishna ng trick. He's the source of all the tricks and pranks. Si Krishna dinaan sa lubak yung chariot. So yung nadaan sa lubak, naalog si Arjuna sa likod. Tapos nalaglag yung helmet ni Arjuna. Tapos nabadrip siya kay Krishna. Krishna, ayusin mo naman. Diba? Paano tayo lalaban na maayos kung di maayos yung pag-drive mo? Little did he know, hindi nalaglag basta-basta yung crown niya, yung helmet ni Arjuna. Tinamaan siya actually ng arrow ni Karna. Trick lang ni Krishna yon na kunyari nalubak sila para bumaba yung chariot, bumaba si Arjuna. Tapos yung arrow na papunta sa head ni Arjuna, tumama dun sa helmet. Again, si Arjuna was saved by Krishna. But by the arrangement, actually, ang guru ni Karna is also an incarnation ni Krishna, na si Parashuram. Long story short, hindi na please si Parashuram kay Karna. And yung mga tinuro ni Parashuram kay Karna na military arts, sabi niya, when you need this, when you need this the most, you will forget all the mantras. Because displease yung guru. That's the number one rule to have a guru aparad or um, offense a guru. If you displease the guru, like our spiritual life is in trouble. So, nangyari kay Krsna yon, and he was cursed. So, malakas si Krsna, pero nung in-need na siya, makakalimutan niya yung mga mantras. So, ginawa ni Krishna, siya rin naman yun incarnation niya. Pero in that battlefield, ginawa ni Krishna, merong crack sa battlefield, sa Kurukshetra. Then, habang naglalaban si Arjuna sa si Krsna, may trick si Krishna na para doon dumaan yung chariot ni Krsna. Tapos yung wheel ng chariot niya, mas stuck doon sa crack na yun. Tapos na-stuck na siya, hindi siya makakalabas. Hindi siya makaandar. So of course, to his disadvantage, matatalo siya. Pwede siya panahin kasi steady lang siya, hindi siya nagmo-move. The one ni Krsna, bumaba siya doon sa ground. And he tried to lift yung wheel ng chariot niya. Tapos sabi niya kay Arjuna, teka lang, hindi mo ako pwede panahin. Wala akong weapon and I'm just lifting the wheel of my chariot. And si Krishna, siya yung greatest na nag-a-advise ng trick kay Arjuna. Sabi niya, Arjuna, get your crescent-like arrow. And now you could kill Krsna. Even in the midst of him lifting yung chariot niya. Sabi ni Krsna, no, hindi mo pwede gawin yan. Against sa Code of War. Pero Arjuna is also hesitant. Pero pinora siya ni Krishna. This is your only chance. Pag di mo ginawa ito, hindi mo napapatay si Krsna. Kasi sobrang lakas din ni Krsna. So ginawa ni Arjuna. He got his arrow. Yung end nun is like crescent moon. Ng letter C. Then nirelease niya yung arrow. That crescent moon and arrow ni Arjuna sumakto sa leeg ni Krsna. Tapos lumipad yung ulo ni Krsna. Napugutan siya ng ulo. Yes. If Krishna wants to protect you, no one could kill you. And if Krishna wants to kill you, by any means, Krishna pag yung gagawa ng mga tricks and means and ways, by crooked means, by hook or crook, you will be killed. So last lang na na personality natin dito, si Jayadratha. Si Jayadratha, may gusto siya kay Draupadi. During that ceremony, present din siya. Hindi siya nanalo. At the same time, sobrang na-attract siya kay Draupadi. Sobrang ganda ni Draupadi. Heavenly yung niya, yung beauty niya. And lahat attracted, lahat talagang nababaliw sila. And during the exile, balik tayo dun sa exile, naka-exile yung Pandavas, si Jayadratha nagkataon na ikakasal siya. But this Jayadratha, napadaan siya kung nasaan yung mga Pandavas. Nagkataon, yung Pandavas was outside, tas natitira lang dun si Draupadi together with the sages. So, na-illusion si Jayadratha dun sa beauty ni Draupadi. And he made a lot of ways to please, to trick si Draupadi para sumama sa kanya. And by sapilitan, nakuha niya si Draupadi, nakidnap niya, napaupo niya sa chariot. What happened was, nung patakas na yung si Jayadratha sa si Draupadi, dapat ikakasal si Jayadratha na ito, nakalimutan niya lahat dahil kay Draupadi. Patakas na sila, hinabol sila ng mga sages, tapos naghingi sila ng plea. Tapos nangyari na rin ni Yudhishthira. At once, na-rescue na si Draupadi. Supposedly, pwede nila patayin si Jayadratha kasi that's one aggressor to kidnap one's wife. Pero si Yudhishthira saka si Draupadi, malambot yung puso nila, pinatawad nila si Jayadratha. The only thing is si Jayadratha umalis na doon, pero attracted pa rin siya kay Draupadi. At the same time, galit na rin siya kay Jayadratha kasi na-humiliate siya. Galit siya kay Yudhishthira, this Jayadratha. So what Jayadratha did, nag-perform siya ng austerity, nagkaroon siya ng matinding powers, nagkaroon siya ng boon actually. Ang boon niya na walang makakapatay sa kanya na mabubuhay din. Means, in a specific na boon, kung sino yung makakapagpalaglag ng head niya sa ground, mamamatay bigla. So, balik dun sa battlefield of Kurukshetra, this giant rat, kumampi siya dun sa Kauravas, Kaladuyuridan, para kalaban niya yung Pandavas. And he was killing all ang mga nakakaharap niya by thousands din. What happened was, nakalaban niya uli si Arjuna. Pero natutunan nila, na-learn nila na this giant rat, mayroon siyang kakaibang powers sa kabuon. Na kapag kung sino man yung makakapagpahulog ng head niya or drop ng head niya sa ground, mamamatay din. So si Krishna alam yon. Trinik niya uli, tinulungan niya uli si Arjuna. Get your crescent-like pointed na arrow mo. And ang gagawin mo is, pag pana mo kay Jayadrat, you cut his head off, pero kailangan mo mapupunta yung head niya dun sa tatay ni Jayadrat na nagme-meditate sa northern area, sa Himalayas. So, ang layo nun. Pero that's the trick na kailangan nilang gawin. So, ginawa ni Arjuna, pinalo niya si Krishna. Nung nagkaroon siya ng chance, na-release niya yung arrow, sakto, napugot yung ulo ni Jayadrat. Pero lumipad yung ulo niya papunta dun sa lap nung tatay niya na nag-meditate sa Himalayas. So, pag dilat nung tatay niya, nagulat siya, nandun yung ulo ng anak niya sa lap niya. So, imagine, nag-meditate ka, biglang nandun yung ulo, patay yung anak mo, tapos nandun yung ulo. So, nagulat yung tatay niya, tinapon niya yung head dun sa ground. Pagkatapon niya ng head, siya yung nagpalaglag ng head sa ground nung ni Jayadrat, siya yung namatay, hindi si Arjuna. So again, Krishna protected Arjuna. If Krishna wants to protect you, no one could kill you. And if Krishna wants to kill you, no one could protect you. And by this, his partiality and favor para sa Pandavas, ginawa niya by all means. To end today's session, basahin lang natin yung last na text for today, text 17. It was by His mercy only that my enemies neglected to kill me when I descended from my chariot to get water from my thirsty horses. And it was due to my lack of esteem for my Lord that I dared engage him as my chariot driver. For he is worshipped and offered services by the best men to attain salvation. Yes, importante yung water sa battlefield of war. Lagi nila pinapainom yung mga kabayo and sila din. And they have tricks and means and mantras na pag pinano nila in the right place sa mga ground, lalabas yung water. Ngayon, hirap na hirap yung mga tao dito. They have to dig yung holes very deep. So, kaya na gawin dati yun. But even si Arjuna was in this situation, drinking, bumaba sa chariot and all, Krishna is always protecting him from the mga enemies, sa mga weapons coming from behind. And he is very thankful and relishing this pastime na si Krishna was being worshipped by the demigods, by great personalities. Pero he is driving Arjuna's chariot, trying to serve him. Because Krishna is like a Bhakta Vatsalya. He's a well-wisher for his devotees. With love and devotion, Krishna is serving him. What more? To protect them from greatest enemy and to save them from death. And even Krishna is killing yung mga enemies ng mga devotees niya. So yes, no one could really penetrate the protection of Krishna. And no one could really stop him if he wants to kill someone. It's a quote from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Raki Krishna Marike, Mare Krishna Rakike. So be fearless. Of course, not foolish. If it's your time, Krishna will allow it. It's your time. If it's not your time, Krishna will allow it. It's not your time. But better be wise and protected. Don't be foolish. Pwedeng maging pabaya. Narinig ko sa isang devotee yun. Hindi mo kailangan ng mga protective gears, ng helmet or whatsoever. Pag mamatay ka, mamatay ka. Sabi ko, paano pag na-aksidente ka, tapos di ka mamatay, pero paralyzed ka lang? So yes, we should always be protected. We should not be foolish. Virus is there, may enemies, may aggressor, you have to protect yourself. But you should be always dependent and in consciousness of Krishna. So yes, that's our Srimad Bhagavatam slash Mahabharat storytelling today. But tomorrow we will discuss how Arjuna is feeling void and also his focus on Krishna's instructions because he is not together with Krishna anymore. Pero he is keeping Krishna in his heart by Krishna's instructions. That's how one should still be in touch with his guru, his loved one, by his instructions, by his words, the Vani. Aside from the Vapu, the physical connection, the Vani is very important. That's how one could keep his connection sa spiritual master niya, keeping the Vani and doing his very best to follow that instructions. So tomorrow we will have Navadip Chandra Prabhu and Rajat Prabhu in our Srimad Bhagavatam study. Please continue to finish your rounds, be Krishna conscious, and wait for the announcements sa ating mga group chats. Grantarat Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Krishna the protector of all his devotees Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. All glories to you, the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much everyone. Maraming salamat. Tina, Ivy, si Jonah, Carla, Mother Moksha, Naimi, Kanai Krishna, Riza, Shay, JP, McCoy, Oliver, Paolo, Rolly, Gail, Jonah. Yeah, maraming salamat. See you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.